And by the way, you may be wondering why I'm shirtless. We were actually making a video about stretching. So, speaking of vegan, so we don't eat meat. Not sure if you guys knew that, but it's one of the biggest misconceptions that if you don't eat meat, you cannot train physically. So I haven't eaten meat since I'm, I think, 13 years old. I stopped eating meat.
Wow.
Then for the record, I went back to chicken several times, right? I think when I was like 16, 17, then at university I would eat chicken, but I never eat like beef and pork. And last 5, maybe 6 years, maybe even more than that, zero meat, like nothing, no chicken, nothing. I feel tremendous. My performance just skyrocketed. And I know some really powerful athletes who don't eat meat as well. For example, my good friend Ilya Grad. So he's a 3-time world champion in Thai boxing. This guy is a fucking beast, right? He had, I think, 56, 57 professional fights, and he doesn't eat meat, right? And we always talk about it, the fact that people think that if you want to be ripped, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be strong, you have to eat meat. But it's one of those misconceptions fed to us by this massive industry, right? Obviously they want to make money, right? So, and there are people who are really killing it in different realms of life who don't eat meat. You know, John Joseph, for example. I had a pleasure to talk to him. He's the lead singer in Chromax, right? And this guy's a legend. He wrote a great book that's called Meat is for Pussies. Then he wrote another book, The PMA Effect. Very good guy. He was on Joe Rogan podcast recently, actually. So he is, I think, 56 right now, something like this. And he runs Ironman. So, I mean, well, runs, swims, and cycles. Ironman is pretty much 4 kilometers swimming. Then without any break, you go on a bike 180 kilometers, and then you run a full marathon, like 0 breaks. And he does this at almost 60 years old, right? And he doesn't eat meat. Now, of course, some people may tell me, well, but there are also examples of so many athletes who eat meat and they're healthy. And I agree with it, right? What I'm against is the factory production, right?
Exactly.
When you are breeding animals in little cages, force feeding them, giving them antibiotics, where you basically, you know, rape a cow so it has children, and then you take them away for the meat, and then the cow gives you the milk, right? And then the process keeps repeating itself. And those animals, they can feel, they know what's happening. So that cow knows that the children, they're gonna be slaughtered, right? The cow knows it, it feels it, and then it happens over and over again till the cow is so devastated, so destroyed physically, that at some point it can't give birth anymore. Well, guess what? Then fucking kill it and get some meat. That's fucked up. I mean, it's seriously fucked up, and I think we have to change how those industries operate. Again, I have no issue with organic farms. You can eat meat, I'm not judging, right? What I'm saying is, I think if everyone was a little bit more conscious, as you said, you don't need to be fully vegan, but a bit more conscious, right? If you eat meat every fucking day, just ask yourself, hey, will it be a big issue if I eat it maybe just twice a week instead of 7 times a week, right? I think if everyone, you know, change their habits just a little bit, then obviously the demand would be smaller, and as a result the supply will be smaller, and all of the suffering, you know, we can get rid of it. So if you knew the animal before, you wouldn't want to eat it. You gotta ask yourself, what is the difference between a dog and a pig, right? They're both very intelligent, right? Similar level of intelligence. Actually, pigs are more intelligent than some breeds of dogs, right? So when you think about it, if I give you a little pig and I told you, can you keep an eye on this pig? You would probably, most people would say, wow, it's so nice and cute, let's give it a name, right? And imagine you play with a pig for a week and you start realizing that it has some type of personality, right? I mean, every dog and every pig, every cat are kind of different, right? Some of them like to play, some of them just sit in the corner, right? Some of them are shy, some of them are more outgoing, let's say. So imagine you have it for a week. You feed it, you play with it, it has a name. And then I come back and I say, you know what? Yeah, we changed our mind. I give your money back, give me the pig because we want to sell it to slaughterhouse because yeah, they need more meat. It's like, what would you do? You would say, there's no fucking way you're taking this pig because it's my pig, his or her name is whatever now, and you're not taking it away because now you are emotionally attached to that creature. But then my question is, what is the difference between that one pig that has a name now and all of those other animals? There's no difference. The only difference is your perception, right? But your perception, the change of your perception doesn't change the reality, right? So the way I see it is, by default, when I think about animals in slaughterhouses, I'm thinking that each one of those animals, if I had them with me for a week, I'll probably develop a connection with them. And I know this is the case with so many people. And that pisses me off so much, that we never really think about those things in this way, because it's very convenient to just go to the shop, look at the package, look at nice branding, and forget that it's meat. And then when our kids grow up, and this is what happened to us as well, it's like all this conditioning that you grow up and you never really pause to think where all of this comes from. It's very easy just to consume. There's something really important I want to say here. Very often as we go through life, we are thinking about other people around us for cues, right? So let's say that you go to a restaurant. If all of your friends are ordering hot dogs and fries and beer, it's very easy for you just to justify, you know what, I'm going to do the same, because naturally you kind of want to succumb to the group's identity, right? If the group is doing certain thing, then you don't want to be rejected by the group, so you basically follow the crowd. But I think when you really look at the history of humanity, there have been many things that some individuals were doing in the past that were not acceptable, that right now are just a common knowledge that these are the right things to do. For example, yoga, right? I'm from Poland originally, and for example, 10, 15 years ago, if you said that you are going for a yoga session in Poland as a guy, I mean, people will look at you in a weird way, right? Most of the guys would say, are you a homosexual? Are you like, what is your problem? Why would you do this, right? Like, it was just crazy, right? This weird environment of like, just everyone was so closed-minded. But now, if you say I'm doing yoga, it's like, yeah, sure, of course you're doing yoga. I mean, fighters do yoga, professional athletes do yoga. It's something that's good for your body. Everyone knows it. But again, back in the day, it wasn't acceptable. If you said to people that you meditate, even like 10, 15 years ago, right? They would look at you like, meditate? What do you mean? You're gonna sit in a cave? Like, are you trying to become a monk? There's this misconception that if you meditate, you have to be spiritual, you have to be a monk, right? You have to be, either you want to become some guru or you have to be a guru, because otherwise, why would you meditate? Well, nowadays, I know so many CEOs that meditate because meditation is a tool. It's a tool that I use myself. If I'm about to film a big session, guess what? I'm gonna meditate beforehand, because I want to get in line with who I am. I want to regain my balance, right? I want to recalibrate my energy, right? I want to get that full control of my body and my mind, and meditation allows me to do it. So what I'm trying to say here is, look at how many things are still not fully acceptable in our society, and realize that many of those things down the line, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, will be something that everyone will be doing. So to kind of full circle back to like not eating meat and being healthy, being more conscious of what type of food products you buy, I personally believe, and I'm happy I'm gonna say it on the record now, on this video now, I personally believe that by 2030, maybe 2035, people will look back and they'll be scratching their heads thinking, wait a second, so we were slaughtering billions of animals in those fucked up factories? Why were we doing that? That's weird. Why were we doing that? Again, like, question everything. As you go through life, even if you're busy, even if you're working a 15-hour job and you barely have enough time, just take even five minutes every day just to sit down and look around and be like, you know what? How does this world works? And what do I agree with and what I don't agree with, like viscerally, right? And just question things for yourself. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let us know what you think. We talked about a variety of topics. Curious to hear your questions, your thoughts, your opinions. Wish you an amazing day, and see you in the next video.